Potato, 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 potato. This is Potato, my Asian painted frog, better known as Chubby Frogs, also known as banded bullfrogs, rice frogs, and bubble frogs. I've had Potato for like 5 months now. My friend Ethan got him for my birthday in last March. Disclaimer, don't get people animals for their birthdays unless you know they're like have the supplies or actually want the animal or are prepared for it. You don't want to surprise people with an animal that they have to care for. But with this exception, he got Potato after my Pacman frog, Yoshi, died. If you didn't know, Yoshi, my Pacman frog, died a number of months ago. I made a post about it on the community post, but I didn't like do a video on it because that's weird. Unfortunately, I got him off of Craigslist, and when I got him, I was supposed to get his sibling. His sibling just randomly died an hour before I picked them up. It appeared to be from something like a parasite because it was eating completely fine, and it was active up until that point. And then randomly, a few months later, the same thing happened to my Pacman frog, Yoshi. You can read about that on the community post where I went more into detail. But aside from that depressing fact, Potato's here, so that's a bit more positive. He's been growing, or she, I don't know. It's been growing for quite a while since I first got him, but he is weird about eating because he only eats superworms. You're probably thinking like you just haven't tried enough, but I have tried quite a bit over the past number of months. I've tried mealworms, I've tried dubia roaches, which is what I would like him to be on. I've tried night crawlers, waxworms. I even tried rodents, because why not? Little frozen thawed rodents. I tried hornworms, butterworms, and I'm pretty sure a couple others. He just only eats superworms. It's so weird and annoying because I don't like superworms, but I have to keep buying them because he's so picky. Either way though, he's been healthy on them. I just make sure I dust them with their calcium and multivitamin and everything, and he clearly enjoys them, so it's working. I'll keep trying other stuff and try to get him to switch over. It's weird though because these types of frogs, like Pacman and Chubby Frogs and stuff, they just eat anything. And then I've got my picky boy on his superworms. Now, I'm kind of making this a first impressions video, even though I've had him for a while, but it's because I really didn't know what to say about him. Like, he's really just this blob of flesh that sits there and occasionally eats stuff. But I'm gonna go into as much detail as I can about said pet rock. So Potato is currently in a 10-gallon with Eco Earth, a hide, and some fake plants. That's really all he needs. And he sits there and he's content with his life. It's very interesting having him compared to a Pacman frog, simply because I see them less. I've seen them, I think, at Repticon a few times, but nowhere near as commonly, but nowhere near as often as Pacman frogs, which are their like more popular cousin, I guess. Either way, I still love Pacman frogs, but having something that's seen a little bit less often is pretty cool, yet still just as easy to care for. The biggest care difference that I've noticed is their heads are much smaller than Pacman frogs. I just mentioned how Pacman frogs have like those big mouths that they like, you know, Pacman. But Chubby Frogs, because their head is so much smaller than their body, they can't eat as large of meals, so you kind of have to either feed them more of smaller things or just feed them more frequently. It's not like it's that hard to do, but it's probably the biggest difference between Pacman and Chubby, other than the fact that they look different. My favorite thing about him is, although you really should not handle animals like this, I've handled him a couple times while my hands are damp and while I have dirt on my hands, and the way he walks is just so weird. He looks like he's just like been a couch potato all his life, and he like tries to get up to go to the bathroom, and he's just struggling to make it there, and he's like looking up at his tree frog cousins like, I remember the days when I could climb and I'm just a blob. So it's very weird because how do I say this without it sounding mean? They seem useless. Obviously they are not useless, but like just, this is the first impressions video, okay? The first impression when you look at this thing is, why do you exist? Also, my other favorite feature about him that I didn't mention is the way he defends himself with urine. How can you not enjoy that? How can you enjoy it? Is it bad to enjoy that? Am I the only one that enjoys that? Answer the poll. Do you enjoy watching Chubby Frogs urine? I told you before we started this video, I have no idea what to say about them. My third favorite thing about Chubby Frogs is the fact that nobody can tell what it is on first glance. Like, people have said brownie or like pile of mud or a potato, all sorts of things. You just can't tell what it is at first glance. So it's like an alien. I've been talking for 10 minutes about a frog named Potato, and I'm really running out of things to say. So my first impressions on them is, first of all, would I get one again if I didn't have them? And yeah, I mean, I still wish I had the Pacman frog, because that was pretty fun to have. And it's a nice animal, in my opinion, to have it as like an addition to animals you already have. Like, I completely see why this would be a great first animal, but personally I like being able to get hands-on and actually watch animals that are more active, whether it's a ball python that you can handle, or a turtle that swims around or something. But it's really nice to have some variety when it's something completely different, and one you can't handle, and one that really doesn't want to move. It just sits there. So it really just adds to the differences in the room. So I'm happy to have one. I wouldn't want like a ton of them, kind of like how I'd love to have like 30 ball pythons. I don't need 30, that sounds kind of fun actually. I don't know, I have no idea if you can cohab them, but like, just imagine like, just 30 of them. Yeah, so if you want something that you can't handle, and that you really can't see do anything other than eat, then it's the animal for you. Maybe that sounds bad, but I'm sure that's appealing to a lot of people, because like, look at all the other weird things people keep as pets. So I'm digging it. What do you think of them? Let me know in the comment section. You can see more pictures and maybe like Instagram stories of it on Instagram at go_herping. Like, if you search Chubby Frog, like every image looks the exact same. They just like look like they want to kill you and just be left alone so they can watch TV in the basement. Okay, bye.